Hello and welcome to first session of English 5, third edition, pre-intermediate level. So, I want to teach you this book online and it is the first session of this class. So, you don't know anything about me and you don't know who I am, even you don't know my name. Let me introduce myself. My first name is Mojir. I'm an English teacher. I have been teaching English for 12 years, about 12 years, not exactly 12 years. Now, you want to ask me more questions to know more about me, and it is your turn to ask them. Look at these questions. There are some questions about my home and family life, my job or maybe studies, my free time activities. First, try to complete them. Question number 1. Where, blah blah, you from? Or where, blah blah, you born? Where do you? We don't know. Do you? In a house or flat? Do you? Any brothers and sisters? Do you? Any pets? So, let's complete them with each other. First question. Where? You're right. Where are you from? Where are you from? Second one. Where? Where? Where were? Where were you born? Where were you born? Or I was born in Hamadan. I was born. Where were you born? For you, we say where. For I, he, she was in the past. And where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you live? I live in Istanbul, for example. Do you? Of course. Do you live? Do you live in a house or flat? And do you have any brothers and sisters? Do you have any pets? Nice, thank you. So there are some questions. Now, about to ask me about my home and family life. So, look at these ones, these questions. Now you want to ask me more questions. What do you? Or where do you? Do you blah blah your job? What school, university do you? What year you in? Can you any other languages? Which? Where do you English before? Let's complete them with each other. What do you do? What do you do? Means what's your job? What does he do? What's his job? So, what do you do? I work as a doctor. I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. I'm a dentist. I'm a firefighter. I work as a firefighter. So, where do you work? Where do you work? I work as a doctor. I work as a dentist. I work in Tehran. Where do you work? I work as a teacher for a company. So, do you like your job? Do you like your job? Yes, I do. I love my job. But sometimes, I sometimes say, no, I don't. I'm a student. What do you do? I'm a student. I don't work. So, what school or university do you go to? And what year are you in? I'm in first year of university. I'm in second year of university. Can you speak any other languages? Which? Where did you learn English before? These are my answers to these questions. Some of them can be answered in different ways. For example, where did you learn English before? Where did you study English before? And now, please answer the questions. First question, where are you from? I'm from Iran. I'm from Hamadan in Iran. Where are you from? I'm from London. Where were you born? I was born in Hamadan. When were you born? I was born on 1st of July 1970, for example. Where do you live? I live in Istanbul. I live in Moscow, for example. Do you live in a house or flat? Don't forget, we do not say, do you live in a house or flat? It is wrong. We say, do you live in a house? Do you live in a house? Live in it, live in it. Linking sounds. Do you live in a house? Do you live in a house? Do you live in a house or flat? Flat in British English means apartment. And house means the place that you live. It has a small garden, but flat means one apartment. So, do you live in a house or flat? I live in a small house in west of Istanbul. I live in a flat in city center, in center of the city, or I live in a flat downtown, for example. And do you have any brothers and sisters? I have 5 brothers, 2 sisters. I don't have any brothers. I don't have any brothers or sisters. I'm an only child. I'm an only child, or any other answers. Do you have any pets? Yes, I do. I love pets. I have a kitten and a puppy. So now you can answer these questions in your own way, any way that you like. It's your answer. What do you do? I'm a teacher. Where do you work? I work for an English institute. I work for a company in Istanbul. Do you like your job? Yes, I do. I do love my job. I love it. What do you do? I don't work. I'm a student. What school or university do you go to? I go to Tehran University. What year are you in? I'm in first year of university. Can you speak any other languages? Yes, I can speak German a bit and French quite well. So, can you speak any other languages? Yes, I can. Which languages can you speak? I can speak German and French. I can speak Turkish. Where did you learn English before? I learned English in London. I learned English at a school. I learned English. So, I learned English when I was a little child in my hometown. So, now questions about free time, question of free time activities. So, what kind of music do you? Do you a musical instrument? Which? What TV programs do you? Do you any sport or exercise? What? What kind of books or magazines do you? How often do you to the cinema? What did you last weekend? So let's complete them. What kind of music do you listen to? Do you play a musical instrument? Which? What TV programs do you watch? Do you play any sport or exercise, or do you do any sport or exercise? We can say. What kind of books or magazines do you read? How often do you go to the cinema? What did you do last weekend? So now let's check our answers. Let's listen to these ones. Listen carefully to the questions, please.
1.2. What kind of music do you listen to? 1.2. What kind of music do you listen to?
Again, sorry.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Repeat, please. What kind of music do you listen to? What kind of music do you listen to? Don't forget, we say, what kind of, not what kind of music. No, what kind of music do you listen to? Do you listen to?
Do you play a musical instrument?
Do you play a musical instrument? Do you play a musical instrument? Play it. Do you play a musical instrument? Do you play a musical instrument? Not do you play a musical instrument. Linking sounds, don't forget them. Do you play a musical instrument? Play ends in Y, and E is a sound. Play it. Do you play? Do you play it? Do you play a musical instrument? Musical instruments like guitar, piano, violin. These are musical instruments.
Which?
Which?
What TV programs do you watch?
What TV programs do you watch? What TV programs do you watch? Pay attention to the rhythm, to intonation, how to ask a question. It's important.
Do you do any sport or exercise? What?
Listen again. Unfortunately, I didn't understand it.
Do you do any sport or exercise? Do you do any sport or exercise?
Did you do any sport or exercise? Do you do any sport? Do you do any sport or exercise?
Do you do any sport or exercise?
Yes. Do you do any sport or exercise? So here we heard, do you do any sport or exercise? Do you do any sport or exercise? And
what?
What?
What kind of books or magazines do you read?
What kind of books or magazines do you read? What kind of books or magazines do you read?
How often do you go to the cinema?
How often do you go to the cinema?
What did you do last weekend?
What did you do last weekend? What did you do last weekend? What did you do last weekend? So, just we need to change this question. Also, do you play can be true. We can say, do you do any sport or do you do any sport or exercise? 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 So, now ask yourself, what kind of music do you listen to? I listen to classical music. I listen to pop music, jazz. Do you play a musical instrument? No, I don't. I cannot play a musical instrument. Yes, I do, which I play the guitar. I usually play the guitar. I often play my guitar every morning. What TV programs do you watch? I watch TV series. I don't watch TV a lot. I watch TV shows. Do you play any sport or exercise? Do you do any sport or exercise? No, I'm not a sporty person. I don't do any sports, or I don't exercise a lot. What kind of books or magazines do you read? I try to read, or I read different books or magazines, especially novels. How often do you go to the cinema? Not very often. I sometimes go to the cinema. My friends and I go to the cinema every Sunday. What did you do last weekend? Last weekend, I went to a park with one of my friends. Or I had a party last weekend, or I watched a movie at home. So now, sentence stress. Remember that we usually stress the important words in a sentence, the ones that carry important information, and say the other words less strongly. For example, when we ask, where are you from? You hear where and from more than other words. What do? You hear what and do. You can hear what and do more than other words.